hardcore team deathmatch. Remind those shitheads who they're dealing with. This shit ain't working. We've lost the advantage. We got the lead. Now hold it. Come on, you're losing this fight. Lead's ours.
claimed the advantage. Use it.
Get a UAV on grid.
so annoying. But I know
Enemy UAV inbound.
the more that I dig, the more free I'm starting to become. I'm able to shoot my teammate, apparently. But no, I'm able to it's like as if you become to the point where you're non-reactive. Like,
Hostile UAV.
or even if you are reactive, it doesn't come out of the moment. And that's a big issue in today's world, is that everybody carries all these weights after the moment's over with. We all act as if this lowered state that we're in is it's the end of the story. Like, and then that's the whole thing too, is that most people that you talk to who's in the world and who lack personal understanding and personal awareness, they will continue to tell you how there is no hope, there's no way to change, you're not going to be able to do it, you're going to fail, you're going to fall, you're crazy, I don't know, whatever the case may be, but they're going to continuously title you with these beliefs and these terms just because they themselves don't understand it. Because that's something that we have to understand as people, is that people can only stun us as much as they understand themselves. So a very shallow person will. Okay, so here's a good example. So like I say, I am at a state in my own walk to where I am doing something differently. I am moving out I'm practicing my faith. I'm practicing my beliefs to see if what I've learned is true. That's why I'm comfortable with waiting in this season. Because of course, when it comes to this world, everything is temporary. Everything is
Commence care package delivery.
either to help us learn something, oh shit, or help us
You've fallen behind. What the fuck's going on out there? Tighten up and show some sign.
step into our purpose and our higher self.
Crimson sent a sleeper.
And each and every one of us, we have the capability to be greater, do greater, become aware, become a danger to the system that we live in, but we must oh wow, look at that, 1 point away. But we have to do something different in order to see difference. To do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result is the literal definition of insanity. And from where I'm sitting, it's as if the system that we live in, it's almost as if they want people to be in a state of insanity so that way we can't awaken to our true potential. We can't we can't begin to really see the problem and to fix the problem if we're too busy arguing with ourselves or too busy surviving, which is the case for most individuals. Most people are constantly at war with themselves internally, and due to that, they are They're unable to show up for people. They're unable to really make the change that they're proclaiming that they want. And again, even with me, yes, I still have my battles, but also I'm stepping in the right direction, and I know that. I'm stepping towards the path of progress, not the path of hardship or the path of having to settle in a life that that I don't want to live. I seen this quote recently, and it was it said Jim Carrey said it. I don't know if that's true or not, but it said that depression is the act of our true self being tired of playing the character that has been taught, or something along those lines. But that resonates very deeply just because I've realized in my own walk, because I've been depressed and I've come through it. I've had severe anxiety and insecurities and I've come through them. I've battled with these spiritually dark circumstances that's tried to keep me in a box. And of course, that's what the system wants. The system wants to keep us in a box. That's why one of the biggest expressions is to think outside the box, because we need to. Even if you look at the symbology behind the system, like the box is the problem. That's why even whenever you graduate from, high school, they give you a cap that's shaped like the black cube of Saturn. It's a literal box that restricts us and keeps us stuck in time and structure in this restricted state. Because once we realize that we are spirit, we're not flesh, we are no longer controlled by the constraints of time. We are no longer victims of circumstance. We become creators of our own reality. We become like Christ, like Jesus Christ. And that's something that most people think, that Christ is a name. But in all actual reality, Christ is a title. It's a state of conscious being to where you're living in unison with the true self. You're a living embodiment of what we're actually capable of. Because each and every one of us, we all have the divine spark within us. It's just all about becoming aware of said divine spark, becoming aware of the fact that we are all in this fallen state of confusion and ignorance, and that if we don't move and do something different, we're going to stay that way. And in my own personal belief, through my own studies, I believe that we're in a reincarnation trap almost, that we keep getting filtered back through until we learn the lessons that we need to learn. So, in a sense, most people are already in hell, because that's what this seems to be. But it's not in the sense that you're in this eternal punishment that you can't get out, but it's in the sense that you're ignorantly creating your life and your reality,
Enemy watchdog helo inbound.
and your thoughts are shaping what you experience. And if we don't begin to change our mind, change our way of thinking, change our perception, then we are going to stay here. And it seems to me it's almost as if well, we're a victim of free will in a way. We're a victim of our own minds. We're a victim of our thinking. We're just in this victim headspace that is constantly going to fail us. It's constantly going to lead us astray, constantly put us in this box to where we never realize our true powers. We never realize how strong one that we actually are. And, that's why I'll always tell people to learn about Jesus because of the fact that I wouldn't have been able to step into the power that I have without learning about him, without reading his life story where they killed him when he did absolutely nothing. And there are those who will say that it's all symbolic. And I can see that
Seems unnatural to rogue spy. We know you're here.
potentially being the truth. But I also believe we should be capable of doing more than what we can do. I believe that there is a high chance that we could physically do the things that Christ talks about. But at the same time, we're limited by our beliefs. Even, and that's a big thing with faith. Even in the scripture, it says the trying of our faith is more precious than gold and silver.
Your tactics aren't working. Find another way.
The trying of who we are, what we believe, what we think, what we say, that building of our faith puts us in a whole different dimension in comparison to who we started as. Yeah, I know I didn't do good that game. Hey, you know what? Actually gonna take this time to get me some drink. BRB. Alrighty, I'm back. I mean, obviously. But it seems to me that people are psychologically ignorant to what the truth actually is. We are in a state to where it's like people gain knowledge for the sake of knowledge, but not for the sake of application. We can, it's like everybody is so bent up and caught up on learning more, attaining more. But we have to realize as a people that the trick isn't to attain more, it's to want less. We have to detach from our cravings, our wants, anything that could trigger us or bring us out of our character. And I'm not saying, not to want things, but it's more of make sure that you want things that are spiritually nurturing. Make sure you want things that are going to sustain your soul, not just feed your flesh. Because most of us are just trying to feed the flesh. They're just chasing after things. They're just wanting. They're just aimlessly and needlessly acquiring things that aren't going to really help what they actually need. They're not going to put us in the higher state that we all need to be in. Because, of course, like I say, the system that we lived in, or not lived, the system that we live in is flawed tremendously. Not in the sense that it's doing things incorrectly, but in the sense that it's keeping people out of alignment to their true selves. It's keeping humans in a lower state rather than an uplifted state. It's keeping us in a slave mentality rather than a creator mentality or a master mentality, because we are the master of our universe, but we have to do different in order to see different. That's something that has been on my mind a great deal as of late. And us as people, we're not doing anything differently. It's like we're just getting worse and worse as a whole. And to me, it's like I can't help but to ask, it's like, why? Why are we in this fallen state, and why are we not getting better? Why is no one doing anything differently? Why does everybody want to continuously push against what's right? And it's pretty simple. It's because we live in a system that's been designed to keep us in that state. We have a school system that's been designed to make us workers, not thinkers. We have a government that has been put into place to keep our mind under control, which is literally what government means. If you didn't know, it's to govern the mind, control the mind. It's like it's like everybody's, what's the word? Not subconsciously, but subliminally. Everybody's subliminally, yeah, talking about a damn tongue twister. Giggity. No, but everybody's subliminally asking for help. But no one knows what to say. No one knows what to do. So everybody else, they just keep on going along. They keep telling them what they do. It's like, oh, you're sad? Go drink something. It'll help. Go smoke something. It'll help. Go hook up with that, that girl. It'll help. Go, I don't know, anything of the flesh. But we all have to come to our own realization. So, of course, I can't tell you anything
You want to get out of this alive? Better step up.
that'll make you truly change. You have to do the work you have to work and change your mind. So that way in time you can realize it yourself and realize that you do have the power to change the world that you live in. You have the power to become greater than you are, but we're constantly being fed lies, constantly being fed things to worry about. We're constantly being fed burdens, so that way we stay in this divided state or this chaotic, scared state. And then we have people who just are relying on faith on, someone like Jesus, and people don't realize that faith alone will not save you. Yes, we have to build our faith, because to me, that's one of the most important things that we have, because that gives us the ability to step out into uncertainty. But we also we have to learn the rules of the system. There's universal laws that are put into place that will help you if you learn them. Because you learn, again, if same like this game, if you don't know the fundamentals of this game, you're gonna suck at it. So like even me, like I could run around and do all the sliding and do this, that, and the third, but man, I'm from Black Ops 1 days, Black Ops 2. Like I'm an OG Black Ops player. Like War at War. Well, I didn't play War at War a lot just because I used to play on the iPod Touch. Tells you how kind of old old I am. Well, I'm not old at all. I'm just how long I've been here. There you go. But everybody has a spirit of slumber over their eyes, to where we believe that our reality is the only sense of truth. And until you start to build that relationship, that personal relationship with the Father, then you'll never be able to lift that spirit of slumber. And I've talked about it before in other previous videos, where I had an epiphany while I was on a bachelor trip for my buddy. Of course, I don't do nothing crazy. I just, basic things like smoking weed is really the main one. But I come to this epiphany in my mind because I was tempting the Almighty. And the worst thing is I still do it at times. Not nowhere near as much, but it's like I try them, and I don't even know why I do. Maybe to see if His grace truly is sufficient. Maybe that's probably actually what it is. That would make sense. But we all have to come to the realization of who we actually are. We all have to come to realize the power that we truly have. And that's the power to create, the power to adapt, the power to change, the power to grow, the power to be whole, to be aware. Because, that's a big thing with the system, is that they're constantly feeding us this crap that we're lacking, that we need something else. And that's just because they want us to stay in a victim mind state. They want us to stay in a headspace to where we never actually grow. We never actually learn. We just continuously we put faith in everything besides ourselves almost.
Stay on task.
We continuously trust in this, that, and the third, but we don't. I gotta remember that that's a spot right there. But we're not learning nothing. We're not growing. We're not actually changing. If what you learned was true, you would have peace in your life. You would be living a fulfilled existence. You wouldn't be in this position of being a beggar. You would be in a position of being a conqueror. You would no longer be a slave. You would be a master. There you go. And we all have to realize the fault of our own ways before we can truly learn. We have to admit that we're wrong so that way the path of growth can begin. But each and every one of us, our egos are so damn inflated that we think that we have all the answers. We think that we've learned what's all there to be learned because we get to a place to where we're comfortable, and humans have to realize that comfort is the death of purpose. And building self-awareness has to be our true purpose. That has to be our goal, because if we don't, we're going to stay without peace. We're going to stay in our own personal hell, our own personal sense of torment, because we're allowing the false image or the ego self to create our lives for us. Because even if we're not aware of it, even if we're not consciously controlling our mind is still going. Our mind is still thinking. Our mind is still going off of the patterns that it's been living off of. And until you change the pattern and do something different, we're going to continuously keep experiencing the same reality. I lost my cool back there. I lost my damn breath. But, for each and every one of us, I can't make you realize something. I can speak truth. I can speak knowledge. I can come from a place of understanding to the point that you see that I know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, unless you do something different and actually apply the things that I say, actually look at yourself and make the change, just like Michael Jackson said, then you're going to stay stuck in the matrix. You're going to stay stuck in the false reality that the ego has created for you, that is never in a million years going to fulfill you, because you're not playing your character. We all have a character to play. We all have a role to play in this system. And if we continuously keep doing what we've been doing, then we're going to continuously keep getting the same results. And you're going to continuously be trapped in your own personal state of hell, your own personal state of confusion, your own personal state of delusion, whatever you want to say. You're going to stay stuck. You're going to stay confused. You're going to stay crazy. You're going to feel crazy. You're going to move as if, well, you're not going to move like you're crazy because you don't think you're crazy, but you're going to keep doing the same thing, and you're going to continuously fall short of the mark that each and every one of us has the ability to hold. Oh wow. Oh wow. Not bad. But see, once we begin to realize that we're the source of our suffering, realize that we're the source of our hardship, then we can begin to notice the patterns that we exhibit or that we show. And then as soon as we begin to realize the patterns and we begin to become aware of them, then we can begin to change them. And then in time, you'll be able to unlock your pineal gland, essentially. And see, that's what I believe whenever the spirit of slumber is lifted off you. I think that's what actually happens. Your third eye or your pineal gland wakes back up, and it allows you to discern reality more intuitively. And see, most people are like, oh, that's the third eye, that's spiritual mumbo jumbo crap. But it's like, no, it's really not. If it was mumbo jumbo crap, then why do they put fluoride in everything in order to keep it declassified or decalcified? Not classified. It's not a document, but keep it to the point where we can't use it. Fluoride is in all the public drinking water in America. It's also in all the toothpaste. They also put heavy metals like aluminum in our deodorant, which heavy metals will also do that. It keeps us it puts us in a state of disease or a state of dis-ease. We're no longer at ease with ourself, with our true self. We're falling. And in this reality that we live in, we can bring hell on earth or we can have heaven on earth. But it's up to you. It's up to what your mind manifests into your reality. If you're constantly thinking on bad things, if you're constantly looking out for yourself, if you're constantly worrying and struggling and being impatient and not being virtuous, then in no way, shape, or form are you ever going to change or grow. No way. Because you're not doing nothing different. Yeah, you can say you want different all day, every day, but do you embody it? Do you actually embody the change that you're so desperately asking for? Because even like that's why I believe now more than ever, like that's why the method that Jesus preaches and because again, he's just a master teacher. That's all he was. He was an enlightened individual who reached Christ consciousness, who was able to step outside of the constraints of reality. Because even Peter asked, each and every one of his disciples, he said, "Oh, who am I?" Some said, I think some said Elijah reincarnate. Some said, it was Ezekiel, wrong name. Some said, John the Baptist, whatever else, and then he asked Simon. And he was like, "Who am I?" "You are the Christ." And he said, "The kingdom of heaven revealed this unto you. Don't tell no one else." Because that is something that is truly to me, that's the ultimate goal of this reality. That is the ultimate flex, if there was one. To be able to say that you was able to become enlightened, reach a Christ consciousness state, even though we live in this reality that they've put billions and billions of dollars into keeping us fallen, keeping us brainwashed, keeping us confused, keeping us in an illusion. And you do that, man, like, what else is there to want? But that's the thing with most people is everybody thinks they'll be happy once they attain more. But we have to learn to want less, because whenever it comes to the human design, we continuously, after we get one thing, we want something else. After we attain, let's say, a job that pays us better, still eventually it's not enough. That was kind of cool. But it's not enough, once you get that hot girl, it's like, no, it's not enough. Now it's not the fact that you want a better looking girl. You just want something different than what you have. Because us as humans, we require change, but we have been molded to fear it. We've been molded to go against it. We have been programmed to be scared of the power that we actually have, and that the power is through change. It's through embodying the version of yourself that you truly want to be. Because each and every one of us, we're born to a character. Like, I am not the body. I don't. And one. Oh, that kill took it from me. But I know that I'm not this body. I know that I'm not this person. I know that I'm not this character. But I do know that in this form, in my walk of life, this character is the most true thing that we do have. So yes, we must drop any sense of weight that is holding us back in our own personal run. And and like the proof is out there, like the fact that we want change. Like, you see people do it all the time. Like, people crave changes. So it's like, they'll, instead of changing the inside, they'll go and dye their hair, or they'll go and get a tattoo, or they'll go and move their room around. That's something that I've done a lot. Or they'll go and they'll get a new boyfriend, get a new girlfriend, move into a new house, move to a new place. But they're failing to realize that in actual reality, but their soul, their higher self, is trying to make them change for the better, make them step into their authentic self. But people would rather stick with the program, stick with what they've been taught, instead of what they already know. Because each and every one of us, we know the truth. We know if something. Look at that, 38 kills and 23 deaths without even paying it that much attention, and a kill cam to end it. Gotta love it. Not really. I don't care about it. Don't even really care about it. But see, that's what I mean. Like, I care now more than ever. I care about telling people the truth. That's going to actually wake people up. That's actually going to reveal to you that the power is within you. Same thing that Jesus says. The kingdom of heaven is within. It's inside. It's not outside of us. Then again, the kingdom or seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, all things shall be added unto you. So if you seek first to understand yourself, then naturally in time you'll step into this purpose. You'll step into your true reality that you should be experiencing this whole time. But because you're too busy feeding your ego and thinking that you're right and thinking you don't need to change and doing what everybody else has told you to do, you're going to stay in a fallen state that you'll never be able to step out of. But only I can speak truth. You have to embody and live it. But thank you for your time. Questions, comments, concerns, please message me on here. Or Facebook. Name is Shane M. Klontz if you're curious. But yeah, no, we have to awaken. We have to change, or we're gonna stay in this personal hell. Thanks for the support. Please like, subscribe, and share. Peace.